A long motherfucking time. I ain't lying. I am not lying. This is the best shit I ever could have thought of. This saving my life. This is saving my life. Yes, God, it is, honey. You know what? The Lord woke me up and sent me this sign. So I went on ahead to Home Depot and got this thing. Because white lives matter. That's fucking white lives matter. White lives. Just white. 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 White, 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 white. Now see, all you niggas, if you want to survive, I'm going to keep saying it. Go white. Go white.
Raspberry tart, Mark?
Oh, no thank you. I really couldn't eat another bite. All my life, I've only been able to think about one thing. White women. And now, at last, I'm going to have one.
Bundy Dunbar, how many times have I asked you not to watch that thing at the dinner table?
Daddy, did I tell you Mark's going to Harvard Law School on scholarship?
Yes, you did.
Go get my heroin and my hypodermic needle, bitch. Give me some more watermelon while you're at it.
Yes, dear.
White fat ass slut. What you looking at?
Months ago, you would not have recognized this young college student because 10 months ago, Josh Solomon was black. What he did was really remarkable. Josh took some potentially life-threatening pills to change his skin color from white to black. And what he experienced as a black man was chilling. So chilling, in fact, that after just 1 week of being black, he abruptly called off the experiment and went home to let the medicine wear off. We asked him to retrace his steps to take a look for us.
For all intents and purposes, I think I looked like the typical black teenager, with reddish brown skin and a bald head. In Gainesville, I got a hotel room and started to explore the city. Often when I ran into people in the street, they reacted to me as if they were scared or suspicious. I went in this pool hall to get a drink. They followed me around like I was a thief. One afternoon, I was walking back to my hotel down this road. A police officer pulled me over at that intersection, started to hassle me about who I was and why I was there. Things like this never happened to me when I was white. One time I went into a fancy restaurant to eat, and although I saw several vacant tables, the maitre d' told me that there was nothing available. And in the short time I spent as a black, I can only conclude that perhaps we haven't come as far as we thought.
So how did that make you feel? Because I think that is the one thing that over the years I've done at least 100 shows on racism, and it's so hard to convey what that, having that happen to you, being treated like a suspect every day of your life, what that does to your personal psyche.
Right. Well, that's the hardest part. Whites receive this prima facie respect. I walk into a room, regardless of how much money I have in my pocket, there's a certain level of respect that I get from folks. And the first thing that I realized when I was black was, it's gone. You don't get any of that. White people get this respect, and black people are constantly trying to prove that they deserve it or are worthy of it.
Hey everyone. Today's topic is Melanotan 2. Okay, I'm going to tell you about my experience with this, and also a couple of different things that they don't tell you about when you're researching it. At least I never found out about it, and I did a lot of research about it, okay? Now, I took this last summer for about 4 to 5 months, okay? It is a skin pigment altering peptide, okay? It is a subcutaneous injection, all right? I won't go into my dosing and all that. I wrote everything down, so I kept track of everything if you want to learn about that. You can always message me and I'll give you that. But anyway, a little bit about me. My skin type. I'm like medium-ish skin type. Okay, I have some pigment, but I'm not albino either. So, okay, whenever I hit the beach, you know, I work outside every day basically during the whole summer. And I always burn, okay? I always get bright red from the sun. Sometimes I get sun poisoning when it's too hot. You know, you get those blisters in sensitive areas. That's no fun. And maybe, you know, a couple days later, my skin will start peeling like crazy. You know, you can't prevent it, even with all these skin lotions and all that. I don't really like sunscreens because, for one, they do have other chemicals in it that go straight into your bloodstream, and I actually seen a thing on TV about it that could cause certain reactions in different people, and they're not always very that good, okay? And also, sunscreen blocks one of the most important things your body needs, vitamin D, okay? It is very important for healthy bones, you know, boosting your testosterone. It's very important, and sunscreens block that, so it's not that good. I'm not too good on sunscreen. But anyway, Melanotan 2, okay. When I took this, I did a loading phase for a week, and then I would just do it every other 3-4 days, dosing-wise. But once I started taking this, and I was outside every day, I would go to the beach, and I would not get burnt anymore. Basically, it skips the burn and goes straight to tan, okay? And also, while taking this, I did not get any sun poisoning whatsoever throughout the whole summer. And it was freaking hot, okay? And also, I didn't peel at all. My skin did not peel. So basically, it has skin conditioning properties to it, okay? It was awesome. I loved it. I'm going to order some soon again, okay? And basically, since it increases your melanin production in your skin, it is going to protect you from skin cancer, okay? Because that builds up your defense to those harmful UV rays. So that's one of the many reasons why I wanted to take it in the beginning, since I'm out in the sun all the time, and I'm not too happy about sunscreens and all that. You do get a few freckles while you're using it, okay? After a couple of weeks, you start to realize, oh man, I got a couple more freckles. It wasn't much, just a couple here and there, but they were very small. They were like the size of a grain of sand, okay? And once you discontinue use of it, they basically fade away and they go away. Now, your tan also lasts pretty long after you discontinued it, okay? Maybe 3 weeks after you stop using it, once it gets out of your system, you're still tan. All summer long, I can't tell you how many people would come up to me, people I know, people I don't know, at parties and whatnot. You wouldn't believe how many, you know, the usual tan girls, how jealous they get coming up to me saying, what the hell? How did you get so damn tan? And I'm just laughing saying, yeah, I'm lucky. You know, I look like I was straight off the boat from Cuba, alright? I was that tan all summer, and I loved it.
Body parts. They've been selling body parts. That's old. That's not new. That's why black people don't like to go to hospitals. They go to get their toes clipped, their fingernails clipped, and they wake up and their foot's gone.
They've been utilizing the organs of black people for years, the organs and the body parts and the members of African-American people, and that goes back to George Washington. There's a long-time myth that George Washington had wooden teeth. We've heard that myth growing up in school. The reality is George Washington did not have wooden teeth because common sense will tell you you can't put wood in your mouth, it gets wet, and wet wood is useless. What George Washington did, he had the teeth of his African slaves yanked out of their mouths, and he made dentures out of these teeth. And they're on display. His dentures are on display at museums right now. And that just goes to show the history of African people having our bodies mutilated and our members disfigured and mutilated for the betterment and benefit of the dominant society.
In America, at least 2,500 black people go missing every year. At least. Never to be found again, not killed enough, you just don't find them again. Why doesn't that number ever go down? How can you constantly have the same amount of people? Are you trying to say the same killers go out and murder the same amount of people every year? No. Somebody is taking black people off the street. There's been stories on this. Kidnapped by the government. Kidnapped by organ traffickers.
Drive-by shootings is organ stealing.
I'm worth $50 million and I need a kidney. And you know, kidneys are pretty sensitive. You gotta find somebody who really got the kidney that matches yours. You think I'm gonna wait till somebody die for me to get one? If I don't get one soon, I'm gonna die. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay somebody to go research people. Okay, let's go look at all the black organ donors. Let's look at all the black people who got organ donor on their driver's license, which is why I'm not a friend of that. I say, if you wanna donate your organs, put it in your will. Say that if I die, this can go to my family, my relatives, my friends, or whomever. But when you put it on your license, I believe you make yourself a public target. And so what did they find? We got a guy in Los Angeles. He has the same blood type as you, same kidney type as you likely. He healthy though, he ain't likely to die no time soon. He don't know you, so he ain't gonna give you no organ for free. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he was in a car accident. We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he committed suicide. So the next thing you know, you coming out the gas station, boom, you get hit by a Mack truck, you dead, gone. You get taken to the funeral home, your family come to the funeral, they don't know that before your body got laid to rest, a little hole was poked and they pulled your kidney out.
A lot of people don't know, when you get arrested or even when you get convicted, a lot of times law enforcement or police will swab your mouth for DNA. And now they have your DNA record on file, they have your genetic information on file. And you have to understand, with law enforcement, a lot of times they'll sell your information to tabloids and, like, especially celebrities, they sell their information to tabloids and magazines and news outlets all the time. So it's not a stretch to believe that they won't use your DNA or your genetic information for nefarious reasons.
You, my son, cops come by and inform me you just been shot dead. You don't have jurisdiction over that body. That's the coroner. You can't get that body till the coroner release you. So we'll get released, we go down and pick it up, and I see all these cuts and these stitches. I just thought they was doing a routine investigation, following the family. I didn't know they took your organs. I'm under all this stress, my son is dead. Now you buried now, I can't dig you up because the court got to have permission. Most of those cases is organ stealing.
It's been known for a long time, even back in slavery times, that black organs were considered superior genetically to other folks' organs. For example, whenever there's a transplant, okay, especially when rich folks get heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, they like white, they like black organs. We had a famous case in Pennsylvania, Governor Casey, who was one of the most racist governors who ever lived back in the late 80s, early 90s. He had a heart transplant. Guess whose heart they gave him? A black person's heart.
Down in Georgia, there was a case of an African-American 17-year-old kid who was found mysteriously dead at school. He died in the gym, they did an autopsy and they buried him. His family, they weren't satisfied with the results because they still wanted to know what happened to their son. They had the body exhumed, found out that his organs were missing and his body was stuffed with newspapers, and people are still trying to find answers. The officials down there in Georgia, they act like they don't know what's going on. There was another case out here in California. A young African-American man was found dead in Death Valley in the desert. All of his organs were missing. His liver, heart, lungs, kidneys, all gone. There's a case in the UK recently. A Somalian girl was brought over there for organ harvesting. They found out that they were going to harvest her organs and they stopped that. There was another case in Asian couples. They went over to Africa. They adopted a black girl. 2 weeks later, she was dead. So these cases of organ harvesting are just going on all over the world, and people are being real quiet about it.
The Rodney King riots. The cops arrested 18,213 black folks. They couldn't account for 10,000 of them.
That's what happened in New Orleans. Remember when you saw those helicopters? They were picking up all them black babies and taking them up in the helicopter. And my husband and I sit there and said, we wouldn't have sent our son with them. I don't care who they was. We all died in the water together. We wouldn't have sent our baby up there. And they never got a bunch of those children back, as we all know.
Organ harvesting in Africa, it's a business. In fact, they've set up so many sophisticated places around the so-called third world where there are nations like France, England, New Zealand, Israel. All these places now are looking in the impoverished areas because mostly in these impoverished areas like Brazil, places in South Africa, right here on this continent, wherever there's poverty, there's crime. And wherever there's crime, you know there's a lot of deaths and there's a lot of shooting.
They are killing black people for their organs. Think about it. Organs are the only commodity that people must have to live that you cannot buy in a store. So if I am sick and I need a heart, I can't buy that. And we know all the problems with the fake hearts. Now they can give a pacemaker to a bad heart. But what about when the heart needs to be replaced? You gotta find a match and it ain't none on the donor list. And I'm worth $50 million and I could care less about black people anyway. Guess what? Somebody gonna get shot in a drive-by.